Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And we actually have quite an amusing one this time, nothing to get angry about. I just saw this and I thought, I've got to share this. We all know in this era that there's a lot of Zoom meetings, and that sometimes things in Zoom meetings don't go according to plan. Someone will get up and walk away, and where they're wearing like a shirt and tie up top, as they walk away without turning the machine off, it's quite clear they're just wearing like a pair of pants underneath or something. Or somebody will hit the mute button and miss, break wind, and realise that they hadn't muted that, and then they look very embarrassed and things like that. That comes up on the internet every now and again as an amusing side thing, and people laugh at it and then move on with their lives. This, however, was slightly wilder. It was a court case, and the judge was hearing some of the evidence and things, and having people attend via Zoom, or some legal equivalent of Zoom, whatever it was. But it was a remote hearing, and let's just say that there was some inappropriate sounds. They were having this, and this sound came over, and people were like, "What the hell?" And after a few seconds, they realised what they were listening to. An investigation has been launched to find out who the miscreant is in this case. I just thought, like I say, that this was worth a passing on. So here we go. I'll have a look at this article, and I wonder who it was. So a judge has had to halt a court when noisy prom erupted from a solicitor's computer. Lawyer says his computer was hacked while in session at Sheffield Crown Court. Yeah, I don't believe that either. Sounds came through the legal common video platform software used by courts, and the recorder, Judge Richardson Casey, has now adjourned the case for a week. So there's something. Look, my computer was hacked. We all know that's bollocks, right? He was sitting, he was watching that on in between the court case was happening. He had that on another screen. Oh yeah, flicked there, yeah, and he forgot to hit mute on it. That's what's happened. And he's been caught out, and he's had to use the my computer was hacked, and I bet it wasn't. And I bet when they have the full investigation, they'll look in, and it wasn't hacked, and he's just a bit of a merchant, isn't he? Bit of a merchant banker. Anyway, it's there. So a recorded judge in Sheffield was forced to call time on a product smuggling case, after loud and obvious noises started blaring from a solicitor's computer. Judge Jeremy Richardson adjourned for a week after the court's common video platform was, quote, hacked. CPV allows court session to be held remotely like other video link software. The lawyer, who's anonymous, said it's so strange how easily you can be hacked these days. Yes, isn't that strange? Isn't that an amazingly strange thing? How a secure, legal video platform can be so easily hacked. Yeah, that's right. Load of old crap in it. 13 defendants have been charged with smuggling these products and a phone into a jail. One barrister attending said it was definitely adult entertainment. Everybody in court heard it. It was loud and obvious. The judge tried to tell the person making the sounds to mute their microphone. When it continued, the judge got upset and abruptly ended the hearing for a week and said future hearings could not be done on CVP. Quite right, too. Remote and hybrid court sessions have become quite common practice since the pandemic. And in February last year, a Texas lawyer had a similar frustrations when appearing remotely in court with a cat filter over his face. Attorney Rod Pondon told the judge, "I'm not a cat." I remember that case. He didn't know how to switch it off. His daughter had apparently used the computer, and he didn't know how to switch the filter off. And there was another one with a vicar, very similarly trying to give an online service during the pandemic. And again, he had all these filters on, and people said it was absolutely the funniest and best thing they ever watched. And they said, could he do it just for, in perpetuity, keep doing it with the filters on? It was better. There's nothing else to it there. It's just that story. It's just sitting there, and then it's the lies. It's the outright lies of the solicitor. Go, I must have been hacked. Yeah, I was definitely hacked. Yeah. Really? Yeah, my arse, you were hacked. You just got caught. That's what that is. Although I think it's a bit odd that a man in a big girly wig like that should be worried about Gentleman's special interest entertainment. Anyway, I shall round off and come up. Yeah, he wasn't hacked. Let's be honest. What's happened is he's been banged to rights. No pun intended. He's been caught. And he's reached out for that old one. Oh, I must have been hacked, because he just didn't want to be embarrassed on the day. The best thing he can do is just put his hand up and say, look, I said I was hacked on the day because I was embarrassed. You know I've done it. I know I've done it. I should have had it on mute. Actually, I shouldn't have done it at all. It won't happen again, Your Honour. I'm terribly sorry. He might get a bit of a bollocking for it, and then people move on. He's an adult. It's not an illegal thing to watch. It's just inappropriate at the time and the place. We all do it. We've all seen it. That's fine. Move on. But actually, that reminds me. Years ago, we had a new build manager start, and he was having problems sort of getting onto the shared drive and set up on his system. And so I went in and was doing it, sorting out his problems. And I looked at the logs, and I went, okay, and I just clicked, and I said nothing there and then. And I went back into my office. And of course, what people don't realise is that I was running the entire sort of system and that, is that everything you do is logged. And every website you visit is logged. And all that. Now, I'll be honest, everybody visited not professional sites. When I say not professional, I mean not work related. I mean, you'd get people on Amazon, eBay, YouTube, also. That's fine, as long as the work's getting done, nobody really questioned it. And people would sit, especially at lunchtime, you can do what you like, nobody cared. But, there was, if someone came in and it was 10 o'clock in the morning, you'd seen them flicked onto, onto eBay for 15 minutes or something, you don't go running to the boss. You're not an arse about it, or someone, oh, look, so Bill's been on, he's been on Amazon for a couple of minutes there. It turns out Bill might have been buying his wife, a present or something, or whatever. It doesn't matter. He could even have been buying something for work. It doesn't matter. As long as the work was done, nobody really cared. It wasn't an actual cost or anything like that. We were all professionals. I mean, it wasn't a schoolroom. But there was this guy that I said, that's now no names. I'm not going to embarrass him like that. But anyway, he started. So I started looking through the logs after about a week or so, and I noticed there was a pattern. And he was spending hours, and I mean hours, every day on certain websites, P-Hub. And I confronted him with it. And just him, I was very discreet. I brought him in the office and I showed him the logs. And I said, you do know that everything is logged? And I showed him the logs. He looked absolutely mortified. And he'd like, oh God, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I said, I'm not going to do anything. I said, but you are going to stop. And he went, yeah. Anyway, he only lasted about another week or so and found another job because he knew it was going to come out. And he went off. And we'd only had him about a month and he left. And of course, as soon as he went, I told everybody. I wouldn't have told anyone. I would not have told anyone because, I respect he's made a mistake. He's told me it wouldn't happen again. To be fair, it didn't happen the following week. The rest of that week, it never happened again. And I wouldn't have said anything, but I think he just got so ashamed and couldn't look me in the eye, and he left. And of course, the moment he left, I told everyone. There's a time and a place, people. There is a time and a place. Don't do it in the middle of a court. Anyway, I shall round off there. Thanks for listening. If you like what you hear and see on the channel, please hit the subscribe button. If you haven't already, ring the bell for notifications of future output. Leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video. And until next time, stay safe, stay well. Don't knock one out when you're in court, and goodbye.